Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Yulia Kristoforsky. I'm a realtor with eXp Realty. I am serving Johnston, Wake, and surrounding counties. My goal is to educate my friends and audience in the area of real estate. Today, I am here with my good friend, local insurance agent here in Clayton, that has been in business for more than 20 years and simply an amazing person. Today, we will be talking about what every home buyer should know about insurance. And if you are buying a home and don't fully understand insurance yet, this is one for you. So, hi Kim, can you introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about what you do?
Absolutely. My name is Kim Waters. I'm an independent licensed insurance agent in Clayton. We service Clayton and the surrounding areas. I help homeowners protect their biggest asset, which is buying their home, and educate them on coverages, risks, and make them feel confident in their decision when they're buying their homeowners insurance.
Okay. Thank you for sharing this information about yourself. Now we're going to go into questions that many buyers might have while thinking about buying a home or already are under a contract of a home purchase. So, what made you get into the insurance industry?
So insurance is a people first business, and I'm a nurturer at heart. So I enjoy educating people on what insurance covers and make sure that they're adequately covered when they are buying their homeowners insurance for their house.
Great. What is the number thing buyers should do before choosing a policy?
I would say speak to a trusted insurance agent and understand that coverage isn't all about the price. That a lower premium doesn't always mean that you have better protection. So just and the more you know your insurance agent and ask these questions, what does it cover, and what all these things mean, because it is a lot to understand.
So, when should a buyer start shopping for the insurance? Before going under contract or afterwards?
It's always a good idea to um, ask questions and get the knowledge before you go under contract, just because if you're buying a house, say at the beach, rates may be a shock to you, which can also increase your mortgage payment because your insurance is going to be higher. Um, so I just feel like, as soon as you know something, it's always best just to reach out and ask the questions, even if you don't have a property in mind, just to educate yourself.
Thank you. If a buyer is under a contract right now, what should they do today?
Contact me immediately. No, I'm just
Yes,
kidding.
no, that's
No,
right. No, that's good. No,
um,
seriously.
so we can just review your property details. We can provide you with quotes, address any questions, potential concerns that you have. If there have been any claims on the property, things like that, we can find out and help you along the way and get everything to your lender before closing in a timely manner.
Plus, it's good to know if something comes up that a buyer can still back out of the contract during the due diligence period, which is important to know before that. And then if you're after the due diligence, it's kind of harder to,
Yes.
because you can lose money.
Yes.
So, Kim, can you tell me what factors affect your monthly home insurance payment the most?
So some of the key factors are the home's age, the location, age of the roof, if the property's had any claims on it, the proximity to the fire station, if the fire hydrants are near or far. All those things have an impact.
Okay. How much does credit score really impact insurance rate?
It can significantly impact it, as it could lower your premiums. So if you have a higher insurance score, you're probably going to have a little bit lower premium. If you have a low credit score, they're going to could possibly be more. So it just depends.
Got it. Thank you. So, Kim, so what is the most unexpected things new homeowners face when getting an insurance policy for a home?
Most people are surprised by what's not covered. So, like for example, flood insurance is not covered. That's a whole separate policy. Some people don't understand the importance of insuring your home to replacement cost value versus how much it's going to cost to sell the property. Because we're actually insuring the property to be rebuilt brand new. So that's why it's a little differences in replacement cost value versus selling value, I guess. Or what do you market value? That's what I'm trying to think of. um, So,
Yeah, we're gonna cover flood insurance a little bit later. What does the standard home insurance coverage include?
so that it includes wind and hail, fire, lightning, um, airplane falls on your house,
Okay.
vicious and malicious acts, vandalism, theft, those kinds of things. So kind of acts of nature, God.
Hmm.
So doesn't include anything maintenance wise, or anything like that.
Got it. Thank you. So, what is a deductible and what deductible amounts owner can select when choosing a policy?
So there's several different options when it comes to deductibles. You can do some carriers have a 500 and up, so it goes like 500,000, 2,500, 5,000, and then lots of carriers today are doing a wind and hail percentage deductible. So you could do a 1% of the dwelling amount or a 2% of the dwelling amount. So there's just various options available. So the higher the deductible, typically the lower the premium, because you're taking on more risk yourself to pay out of pocket. And then the lower the deductible, the higher the premium is. So these are things that your agent would be able to talk you through and make sure that you're comfortable with, a higher deductible or what you're financially able
Yes,
to
for sure.
cover if you were to have an unexpected loss. So.
Okay. Kind of going back to this, we kind of covered it. Kim mentioned it a little bit about it. So, is flood insurance included in the regular policy?
No, flood insurance is a separate policy. Um, Lots of people think that they don't need flood insurance because they're not in a flood zone. But as we've learned in the past few years with all the floods that have happened and lots of people didn't have flood insurance, that it can happen even if you're not in a flood zone. So it's always important to check when you're looking at properties, as on your search for a new home, to see if it's in a flood zone. And if it is, then you're going to need flood insurance for your mortgage. But if it's not that expensive to have anyway. And we're happy to check on that for you as well.
Yeah, I also want to mention floodsmart.gov. It's a great resource where you can check for yourself, even in the process when you're searching for homes, not even when already working with insurance agent. So you can check flood zones and map. It will tell you the area of a flood hazard zone, so you can know if it's a minimal risk or higher risk, so you can know ahead what to plan for and what.
And one thing too to add about flood insurance, a lot of people don't realize is, say you were to go ahead and not get flood insurance right now, but then like in a year you're rethinking it. You can always add it, but there's always a 30-day wait period for it to go into effect. So you can't wait for us to be in expecting a flood tomorrow and then say, oh, I need to get flood insurance. There's a 30-day wait. So it's kind of something you need to be prepared for, just in case.
Yeah. Or not even like you see on the news, we're getting a hurricane next day or anything like that. And you're like, oh, let me think about getting a policy before, actually something happens. So, yes.
Yeah, you have to wait 30 days. So,
thank you. So, is it true that insurance is cheaper on the new construction homes?
typically, yes, because you have, newer and updated systems, you have newer materials, you have, the best, newest safety features and things like that. So typically it is cheaper to have a newer home insured.
And if it was a resale home, then if the roof was older than 10 years or the AC unit, then it would be probably higher just because due to the age of those things that could just break over time.
Yes, because then they're factoring in that the potential for a claim is higher the older the house is. So yeah.
Right. So what is the difference between water damage and flood damage?
So water damage would be like a busted pipe, and then you've got water running down from upstairs downstairs, or a toilet overflowing or something like that. Flood damage is water coming up from the ground up into the house. So it's totally two different things. That's why there's no coverage for flood insurance on your typical homeowner's policy.
So for the water damage, it would be covered under the homeowner policy. Okay. What should homeowners never assume is covered under the homeowner policy?
A lot of people think maintenance things are covered, and that's just not going to be the case. So if you, especially like I tell people, so your air conditioner goes out on the, it's a 100-degree day outside, and you're, calling me because you want your insurance to pay for it. They're not going to cover things like that unless it was struck by lightning, of course. But so maintenance things, and it's important to be a homeowner, to know that you're going to have to keep up your property
And actually
and
maintain
it. Yeah.
So does smart home tech lower insurance costs?
In some cases, it can, like devices for security systems or water sensors and things like that can provide discounts on your policy.
Good. Do builders' warranties replace insurance in any way?
No. Builders' warranties, they cover things like defects in the house, things like that, not things of an act of God or nature like a homeowner's policy would cover.
How should rental property insurance differ from primary residence insurance?
So when you have a rental property, it's a totally different policy than a homeowner's policy. We refer to those as dwelling fire policies or landlord policies, which they primarily cover the same things as far as the dwelling and the liability and things like that, but they don't cover the contents of the renters or and things like that. So if you definitely have a rental property, you need to have a different policy than your primary homeowners.
Can you briefly explain about what is STR policy and difference between long-term and STR policy?
So an STR policy, which stands for short-term rentals, they are policies like maybe you're doing an Airbnb or you're doing weekly rentals, not a long-term situation where it would require a lease. And so it's pretty much the difference, and it's different policies because there's different coverages. You have more people coming in and out of your house versus the same person, more risky. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So does bundling auto and home always save money?
Often it does. I mean, some carriers are only homeowner carriers, so they don't have an auto, but some give discounts if the agent has the auto in their agency. So it just depends on the carrier.
Okay. Do I need insurance the day of closing or before?
Your policy is going to go into effect the day of closing. But also, like we mentioned before, you're going to want to, get your knowledge down, understand it, and have everything in place, just to not to delay closing or the funding of your loan.
Then if anything comes up, then everyone
will know in advance.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay. If I file a claim, will my insurance go up if something happens in the house?
It depends on the severity of the claim, how many claims you've had. Are you, habitually filing claims? And it can, impact your premium.
Do you need to pay for the premium upfront out of pocket, or is it included in the monthly payments?
So typically your first year of your insurance is paid upfront at closing. It's considered in with your closing costs. But after that, your homeowner's insurance is paid monthly through your escrow account, which you will have with your mortgage. And then at the end of that first year, you have all this money built up to pay your insurance as well as the property taxes. So you're kind of paying it monthly, but just in with your mortgage payment.
Makes sense. If someone is buying this year, when should they give you a call?
As soon as possible.
Yes.
We are
as soon
here
as
for
possible.
You.
Yes.
It never hurts to just get guidance and understanding, and like I was talking about before, the knowledge is key in understanding what's covered, what's not covered, and, just make sure that's a jump you want to take.
Thank you. That's all I have for today. We have covered most questions that home buyers have about getting homeowners policy. If there are questions that will arise from this video, we can always do a follow-up video answering them. Thank you so much for sharing this important information, Kim. I know that will help a lot of buyers and potential buyers as well. If you are thinking about buying and want guidance through the whole process, feel free to reach out to me. I am always happy to help. And if you need assistance or a deeper communication with insurance agent but have a language barrier, I would love to help with that too. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.